will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whoever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Please rise in body or in spirit and sing this. Body, did I say in body or in spirit? And sing this song with me if you will. You can be anybody you want to be. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love. You can love whoever you will. You can travel any country. You can travel any country where your heart leads and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends, or you can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Some children grow up strong and bold, while some are quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some take it slow, some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men, some leave every label behind. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible you'll find. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whoever you will. You can travel any country. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. The love you leave behind when you're done.
Testing. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Dennis Rowcliffe. I'm one of the members of the Board of Trustees.
Yeah.
Okay. We begin today's service with a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land and the peoples who belong to this land, the Muwekma Ohlone peoples. Our church institutions and homes are occupying their lands, ancestral and current. We acknowledge that the lands were stolen from the Ohlone peoples, who have an ancestral relationship with this land, with the plants, the animals, and the water. for millennia, continuous to the present day. Ohlone people are still here. In solidarity with all Indigenous people and their right to self-determination and justice, we commit to working toward accountability of the theft, dispossession, and resulting trauma Native peoples continue to face. We commit to being active partners toward the healing of the intergenerational trauma which persists to this day. Amen. So may we live. And I think you'll recognize the next speaker. Welcome.
I'm Pastor Jacqueline Duhart, Minister Emeritus of this urban, progressive, spiritual, religious community. Welcome, beloveds. I love you too. I looked for waterproof mascara for this morning, but it was too expensive. It was just too expensive. A piece of our spiritual truth is that there is more than one path to enlightenment, goodness, and justice. Our tradition affirms the oneness of creation. All humans are worthy, that every one of us can give and receive love, and there is something about every one of us that is lovable. Part of our collective spiritual journey is to model and to teach the fragile art of love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. A special shout out to all those who identify as fathers. Happy Father's Day. If you identify as a dad, or perhaps a father, or perhaps a pop, or a pappy, as I call my pop, please rise in body and our spirit so that we can see you and offer a round of applause in appreciation for your labor and your love. Please rise. Woo! I hold you all in prayer. If this is your first time here, please raise your hand for a moment so that we might see you and formally greet you later in Venti Hall over tea and coffee. Venti Hall is the room here to my right. I hope it's still there, right over here. Give your hand a shake if you didn't get a Visitor Connect card when you came in, and an usher will beeline to you and offer you one. I'm getting a... Do I go to the right? Online. It's online. Thank you, Carol. Yeah. Okay, well, the next things that we're going to say are no longer relevant. But go online and do that Visitor Connect card, because we want to know who is visiting here so that we can reach out to you. And thank you for doing it in advance, because being online can be challenging. 3 announcements for the good of this body. Immediately after our service, longtime member Emily Stoper will be here on the chancel. I think on the chancel, that's Emily. Hi, Emily. Oh, Emily's going to be right here, right here. Emily will be sharing the good news of this congregation. Anyone can join. Perhaps there are some longtime members who want to hear the good news. She will also answer questions and accompany you to Venti Hall after she is done. Thank you, Emily, for your service. Everyone is invited to join us here for coffee, tea, and I suspect gentle conversation continues here, in fellowship hour. Sometimes it's hard conversation, so be prepared. But we grow from hard things, so I'm told. I don't know anything about that. And Fred Small will be signing his book. please meet Fred and Vinty Hall for a book signing. The title is Fred Small and Allison Brown, Everything Possible. Includes bonus audio of the beloved song that he just sang. What's the price, Fred? $17.99. $17.99. Let us deepen our sense of being in ritual together. I invite Reverend Small to light our peace candle. Sarah Watts will light our Black Lives Matter candle, and I will light our chalice. Once again, welcome.
The words of Thich Nhat Hanh. Peace is present right here and now, in ourselves and in everything we do and see. Every breath we take can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. The question is whether or not we are in touch with it. We need only to be awake, alive, in the present moment.
Black lives are beautiful, important, and vital. They are a blessing to this world which conspires to deny dignity, joy, and even existence to those very lives. We light this candle to fire our commitment to change this reality and to light our way to a more just world. And together we say, Black Lives Matter.
These are the words to our chalice lighting. There are also hand gestures that go with that. And because I am aging, I don't remember them all. Could someone join me here and offer those gestures? Thank you, Sarah. Sarah can still jog. Oh, okay. Anyone else want to join in? Ready? We light this chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. May it remind us of the divine spark in all of creation, the power of love to heal what is broken, and to be grateful for life's blessings each day.
And in one voice, the people say, "Come, let us worship together."
Please rise, embodying our spirit for our opening song.
Just to have
I've never heard it. This is the time in the service when we rise and greet one another. If you feel comfortable hitting elbows or touching shoulders, please go ahead and try to meet someone you don't know.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, Peter. Hi, Judith. Carol Epple, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. A few new names here. I woke up too late to get to church in time, but I hope everybody can get out today. Carolyn McMahon, good morning.
Well, this is Judith, and I want to introduce to you my sister, Carol Epple, who is visiting me from First Parish in Bedford, Massachusetts.
Hi.
Hi, Judith, sister. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Laura Dumpy.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Nancy.
Nancy.
Morning, Dick.
Good morning from Oregon.
Oh, wow.
Good morning, Dick. Hi, Lila.
Hi, Judith. Nice to see you. We're in the mountains. We're glad we can come to church this way. Hi, Marilyn. I can see you waving.
Hi, Marilyn.
Marilyn, you're chatting, but you're muted.
Well, I'm going to go downstairs and join the service.
Oh,
yes,
enjoy. Definitely.
Can't hear you,
Muted, Marilyn. You could push on your space bar. Bye.
Hi.
Beloveds, I invite you to find a place to rest your body. And there are a couple of folks who volunteered to move around with signs. I invite you to come and retrieve your sign. Just walk about. Notice. I invite you into a few minutes of internal reflection. Please ponder, be curious about these questions. What is a blessing? There goes his hearing aids giving me feedback. What is an act of justice? Have you ever received a blessing? Have you ever received a blessing? Did you faint from it? What did you offer? when you gave a blessing? Do you still have it? What are the results of blessings? Do they last forever and ever and ever? Ponder on these things. Thank you, beloved sign carriers. You can return them to their proper places.
I'm not doing this correctly. This always has to happen. How about this one?
While Corless is figuring out the technology of microphones, I invite you to rise in body and spirit for our next hymn. Beautiful voices, I invite us to stop so that the slides can catch up with us. I saw people's eyes going cross. Okay, let us begin again. There we go.
Now it works. Choose to Bless the World by Rebecca Parker. Your gifts. Are we feedback? Now, Choose to Bless the World by Rebecca Parker. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love?
Any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer this question: what will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world.
The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. There is an embrace of kindness that encompasses all life, even yours.
And while there is injustice, anesthetization, or evil, there moves a holy disturbance, a benevolent rage, a revolutionary love, protesting, urging, insisting that that which is sacred will not be defiled. Those who bless the world live their life as a gesture of thanks for this beauty and this rage. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation.
More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting. I invite us in one voice to repeat the last line that begins with none. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting. Thank you.
I seem to be demonstrating ineptitude this morning, so I hope my reflection will kind of improve on things. Thanks. Our subject today is blessings, but the story I'm going to tell you sounds like the furthest thing from it, a rude incident in Trader Joe's parking lot. It was so upsetting to me that I was like the ancient mariner, compelled to tell everyone I met why I had this albatross around my neck. So please forgive me if you were one of those people. I was in Lafayette where I'd gone for a dermatology appointment. A handy Trader Joe's was there too. I shopped, and when I came out, I wheeled my cart up a small incline to my car, where I balanced the cart on my hip as I opened the car door. The cart slid a little and bumped into the car next to mine. There was a man inside the car, a tall, thick fellow, who jumped out and hurried around to check if there was damage to his car, which there wasn't. Then he started to tell me what I had done wrong and how I should have set the cart against the back of the car because that was the right thing to do, blah, blah, blah. It was then I felt a sort of dark cloud enveloping me. He stood there. I said, "I don't appreciate your lecturing tone." He said, "It's physics. It's just common sense." And he said this like 4 or 5 times. He raised his voice higher. It's just common sense, hon. I said, I'm not your hon. And he said, you're sure not? About this time, I noticed that his car was a Porsche SUV. And I understood how closely aligned he was with his car. But it didn't improve my reaction. I said, just leave me alone. My car just tapped your car. Throughout this incident, I wasn't thinking. I was reacting. And as I drove away, I was ashamed of myself and shocked that I had behaved as I did. Who was that person growling over someone mansplaining to me? I realized that if I had taken even a nanosecond to pause in the situation, what I could have done was to say, I'm sorry I bumped your car. But I reacted from some unknown resentment, I guess, maybe the return of the repressed. Everyone I've told about how shocked I was at being the person I was in the parking lot said, oh, so you're human. Yes, I'm darn human, no problem there. But I don't want to be a jerk in difficult situations. I really don't know how many other incidents like this have occurred for me, though I don't remember them. I remember being a jerk, but not that I felt so bad about it later. So I think that guy in the parking lot gave me a blessing. He made me reflect on my behavior, how I didn't make the pause I could have made to diffuse the situation. So I've stepped up my meditation practice, hoping that I can strengthen my mindfulness and avoid feeling as disappointed in myself as I did after the parking lot event. Also, I've understood more how people can react in dumb, unproductive ways to things that happen. I've gained a bit more compassion and moved a little bit away from condemnation. Now that's a blessing. Speaking of meditation, now is the time in this service when we have our embracing meditation. It gives us the opportunity to bring forward to the group people who are wanting to commemorate, remember, or help with our thoughts. When I sound the bell, please tell us. For all the names we've heard, and for all those that stay in the sanctuary of our hearts, we offer our help and we say, we hold them in our care.
I love you even more, Corless, for being human. Please touch in more fully to that place inside of you where wonder and awe dance. Join me in a prayer and spoken meditation. Spirits of our ancestors, we feel you. Love, grace, and joy that animate our every move, welcome. Mercy, compassion, and kindness that season our actions with tenderness, draw near. We give thanks for our lives that are always beautiful, uncomfortable, and imperfect. We give thanks for this day that is still fresh and full of promise. Since we were last here, babies have been born, humans have continued to die from COVID, and those we love and those we hated have died. We come in joy and in grief. Wars around our globe rage. Shameless systems of oppressions plow forth in the light of day and under the cover of darkness. Barbaric policies deny our humanity. Some of us are afraid. Some of us are contemplating suicide. Evil is real. We humans, all of us, regardless of how we identify, regardless of our pronouns, regardless of anything, we laugh, we cry, and we all want to belong. We are here together. And this is a small miracle. May we leave this place of sanctuary feeling less alone and reminded that a blessing awaits us all. Ashe. We will now be blessed by what I have come to know as S cubed. Bless us.
Reverend Jacqueline, it's not fair to make us cry before we sing.
I've decided to be happy. I've decided to be glad. I've decided to be grateful for all I ever had. I've decided to let go of all this pain tonight. I've decided to let go of all these demons inside. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more. I've got what I came for. I've decided to be open to that little voice inside, telling me I'm beautiful. It's okay to be alive. I've decided to be kinder to myself when I feel sad. I've decided to be grateful for all I've ever had. I know I am blessed. I know all I ever wanted was this. I know I don't need more.
Thank you. I return the favor of crying, Susan. Thank you, Michael, for being here and helping today. Thank you, Corless, for all your shepherding this past couple of months. It has been several years since I occupied this historic pulpit and shared ritual with you. The flood of sensations in my body reminds me of the very first time and the very last time I was in this formidable spot on this familiar chancel. Our bodies remember what we would like to forget. Thank you for your invitation to be here today. It is truly an honor and a blessing to once again to be among you. When I was here, I got exactly what I wanted, and it lives in me forever. The title of our conversation is Blessing, Acts of Social Justice. It is my wish that we will provoke and evoke that energy, those sources called by many names and no name. How we embody these energies and sources is rich with mystery and ancient folklore. What this means to each of us is larger than any person, grander than any place, and more powerful than any system. If that mysterious, familiar energy source moves you, please, I want to hear a clap. I want to see a snap. I want to hear a foot stomp and an occasional hallelujah. I remember you folks to be lively. Yeah, so it's just me, so let's bring back some of that clap, that snap, that foot stomp, a little sass. Okay. Because we are in this conversation together, and I welcome your creative responses. May this, all right, Sarah. May the spirits of our ancestors whisper to us. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart serve as a resource to your ongoing spiritual journeys. Blessings, acts of social justice. So, what is a blessing? I mean, I'm a minister. You would think I would have an answer. I don't. What does it look like? Can you describe it? Does a blessing have a flavor, a color, fragrance, weight? Is it hot? Is it quid pro quo? I must give to get? Does every person have access to these so-called blessings? Oh, can you buy or sell blessings? I'm in the market. If so, where are blessings purchased and sold? And are they ever on sale? One more musing. Are there good blessings and evil blessings? We do not have time to explore all of these questions, but I invite you to take up one or two of them at your next dinner party. Just put them out there. I am curious. What saith you about this thing called blessings? So I invite you to turn to a neighbor. I know, don't get all scared on me. Turn to a neighbor and have a brief conversation. Your conversational topic is this: what is a blessing? How would you describe a blessing? Again, what is a blessing and how would you describe it? You only have 3 minutes for this, so it's okay, it's short. Partner with one or two other humans. They don't have to be people that you know. You're not going to marry them. It's okay. Renee is going to keep time for us, and she will bring us back together with some music.
Well, for me, a blessing is like when the medicine works, when there's some kind of relief. I've been having a lot of somatic problems this week, and boy, when the medicine works, right on.
I think a blessing is something that fills you with gratitude, or should.
For which one would have gratitude?
You look closely, you can see an orange cat over by the window. Pumpkin is definitely a blessing.
A blessing is a gift that gives you pleasure.
A gift that soothes your soul.
Yes. Yes. You.
I saw a dogwood tree in full blossom at March Fang Yu's gravesite at the cemetery yesterday, and that was an amazing blessing. The tree had red hearts hanging from it. I posted it on Facebook, but anyway, if you can see a picture of a flowering dogwood tree, you'll see why it's so amazing and a blessing to even see it.
Well done, and thank you. Thank you. Michael Fitzhugh is going to walk around with the mic. Is there anyone who would like to share a sentence or two about what came up in your conversation? Just raise your hand and Michael will bring you the mic.
I'm overcoming my shyness. Be happy for that. It is a blessing you are here. You show us the possibility, and I'm so grateful for it. Thank you.
Something else that's not about me? Oh, I so wish sometimes. Yes.
A blessing reminds you of what you really know about the world, and you forget every day.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Anyone else? Fred.
Very similarly, a blessing is anything that helps us realize the sacredness of all things, including ourselves.
Thank you, Fred. One more. Evan and Sadie.
A blessing is gained to run around church.
Wow. It doesn't have to be complex. Your blessing could be cheese.
A blessing doesn't have to come from a particular person or thing. A blessing can just be something you feel or are grateful for.
Yeah. Out of the mouth of babes. Thank you.
I couldn't understand that last one.
Story.
You muted.
Title The Map. Taken from 100 Wisdom Stories from Around the World by Margaret Silf. The source of this story is unknown. Once a father was looking after his 2 children and trying to keep them entertained, but he was not having much success. It was a wet Saturday and the children were getting bored. They were starting to get on their father's last nerve with their restlessness and their constant chatter. Their father was inventive and suddenly he had an idea. He found a magazine, browsed through it until he found a map of the world. He tore this page out of the magazine and with tiny children's scissors cut the picture of the map into small pieces. Dad jumbled the pieces all together and placed them in a pile on the floor like a jigsaw puzzle. You guessed it, Dad invited his children to recreate the map. He hoped this would keep them entertained for a long time. The father left his children eagerly engaged, and he was off to make himself a cup of coffee. The father returned in the time it takes to make a single cup of coffee to find his children had accurately put the map back together. Dad was amazed. "How did you manage to put the map back together so quickly?" he said. "Oh, it was so easy," the younger child said. "You told us it was the map of the world. When we looked at the pieces at first, we did not know where to begin to sort it all out. It seemed impossible. But then we realized that there was a picture of a man on the other side. So we just put the man back together again. When we turned it over, the world had come back together again as well." "Yes, Dad," claimed the older child. "It's ever so easy. If you put the man right, the world is okay." "Out of the mouth of babes, it is ever so easy," says the older child. "If you put the man, the human, right, the world is okay." This wisdom story offers us one answer to our query: what is a blessing? A blessing could be any action that for a moment, a day, a month, a year, who knows how long, but the action has the power to see and hear the human for who they are and holds the human in all of their nuffness. And the human is made right, and the world is okay. One more time. A blessing could be any action that for a brief moment, a day, a month, a year, who knows how long, the action has the power to see and to hear the human in all of what it means to be human and make the human right and the world okay. Blessings are actions. Blessings make humans right. When the human is right, the world is okay. The poem we open with, "Choose to Bless the World" by Reverend Rebecca Parker, points us in the direction of these insights. Reverend Parker poetically tells us that all of our gifts can be used to bless or curse the world. Reverend Parker draws our attention to the strength of our hands. Please take a look at your hands. Just look at them. Imagine offering your gentle touch to someone who is lonely. What a gift and a blessing when your eyes see another and you risk offering the comfort of human touch. All children are welcome here and all of their noise-making, sound-making. Okay. Good luck. May the force be with you. Pastor Parker calls our attention to the reaches of our heart. Imagine the tenderness and compassion in your heart when you leave your favorite casserole at your neighbor's door. The same neighbor who accidentally backed their car into your shared fence and cannot help pay for the repairs. Reverend Parker reminds us of our gifts to speak and to listen. We began this sermon in conversation with speaking and listening to each other. To sincerely listen to one another and to bear witness to what is said is a blessing All of these simple acts can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, and offer love. These are blessings, and these are acts of justice for a moment, for a day. These acts have the power to make the human right, and for a moment, the world is okay. One final offering, because I have my eye on the clock and it's time for us to conclude. A piece of music that offers further insights into this query, like what is a blessing and how are blessings connected to acts of justice? If you're not familiar with the songstress and writer, actress Audra Day, you are missing out, people. Please check out her work. This morning, I invite you to soften your gaze and to breathe in these words to her song, Rise Up. And if you're sitting next to a beloved or someone that you'd like to be your beloved, snuggle in and hear these words. There you go. There you go. You are broken down and tired or living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you. So we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We're gonna walk it out and move some mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times for you, and for you, Dennis. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet, Horhan, and move mountain, bring it to its feet, Sadie, and move mountains. I'll rise up. I'll rise in the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise up unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times, Karen. For you, Matthew. For you, Fred. All we need is hope. And for that, Carol, we have each other. And for that, we have each other, Susan's Cubed. We'll rise up, church. We will rise up. And you will do it 1,000 times. Miss Day reminds us of our spiritual covenant, our promise to each other. She also invites us to look to nature for inspiration and blessings. Miss Day tells us that when we are broken down and tired, living on the merry-go-round, and you cannot find the fighter in you, call me. Call Michael Fitzhugh. He will be your mirror to see the fighter in you. He will help you move mountains. Is this not a blessing? Is this not justice for us to partner with each other? For a moment, someone can see your agony and help you push forward. This is our promise to each other. This is justice in practice. She says, when silence is not quiet, when it is hard to breathe, when we hear those black men say, I cannot breathe, and when you feel like dying, turn to Mickey Duxbury, turn to who? Turn for a moment and be blessed. Like this day and every day, the day rises to meet us. The mountains are still there. The waves continue to lap in and out to remind us that we are in covenant with each other. And I promise, you promised me, and I promised you to be there. What a blessing. 1,000 times, in spite of the ache, over and over and over again. At the end of her writing, Reverend Dr. Parker reminds us that alone, none of us can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting. I say, what is waiting and ready to rise up are blessings that are acts of justice that make the man right. And for a moment, maybe a day, maybe a year, who knows how long, maybe forever. But in our shared world, in that moment, in that day, in that minute, we can occupy a space of okayness. What a blessing. This is justice. Ashe.
Preparing to present the invitation to generosity made me wonder where the word generosity came from, because that's the kind of pedant I am. It's fascinating to think how each word is a storehouse of history and change. The word generous has the same root as generate, to create new life, to create new energy. So when we give to the church, we're generating energy, and it's energy that will create new energy. However it is that you give to the church, and we all give in many different ways, know that your generosity is energy that builds this community where we are learning how to be kind, just, and joyful. Ushers, please come forward.
The work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love we call community. We dedicate ourselves and these our blessings. Bring on the circle of an evening love, where people grow forgiven and forgiving. Bring on the circle, make it brighter still, till we whose embraces all the living. Come wonder at this love that comes to life, where words of freedom only are spoken, and people keep no store of right and guilt, but will their human bonds remain unbroken. Join then the movement of the love that frees, to people of whatever race or nation will truly be themselves stand on their feet. See eye to eye with laughter and elation.
I invite you to turn in this direction. The work of the ritual that we call worship is complete. Now the work of transforming your own soul and changing the world begins. If you are able and willing, I invite you to close this gap in the center. Can you touch shoulder to shoulder or elbow to elbow in some kind of way? Can we get close and kind of intimate with each other? Yeah. I invite you just for a moment to imagine a blessing that you want to send to everyone here and the world. Get that thought in your head. Imagine that blessing. 10, 9, 8, imagine. Now with a little squeeze or with a wiggle of your hip, like send it out. Send it out. Come on, First Unitarian, you can do better than that. Go forth from this place knowing that this place is here for a reason. It continues when we ministers leave. It continues. Know that you are blessed. You are blessed. You're blessed with gifts and talents. Do not let anyone tell you different. You are it. You are hip. You are now. Go forth from this place. Be the blessing that changes the world. But it first begins with you. Ashe and blessed be.
That was a wonderful service.
Agreed.
Oh, I want to zip over and make it to the reception. So we'll see you all. Have a nice vacation, everybody.
Nice to see you.
Wow.
Bye.
Hello.